Starting off in Chapter 5, we've got the 5C start file opened, and I've already preset my preferences. I wiped those out, and I've also obviously changed my interface back to the unscrewed up version, if you'll recall from the first chapter, or even some of the other videos that I've done. And so we're going to do just like 2 or 3 things to this girl here. So the first thing is, let's save this document. We're going to change the name here. So Command-Shift-S, of course I've got to turn my mask on. Command-Shift-S takes us to here, and we're going to call this file BeachGirl. And of course, when you turn this in, you will add your name at the front of this file as well. So we will do Photoshop format, and beachgirl.psd goes back into lesson 5 for now for me. First on our list is we're going to take a look at the adjustments. Now, typically these are your adjustments, but these are adjustment layers. And the thing we're going to go find does not live in the adjustment layers. So we have to go here to Image menu and go down to Adjustments. And there's this thing down here called Shadows/Highlights, and that's what we're going to change. So we'll click on that. Now, if you look in the book, it says there's actually quite a number of settings we're going to change. And in order to see these settings, I mean, clearly we've only got 2 here. We have to turn on the Show Options situation. And there's a lot more stuff there. Okay, so number 1 is we're going to change the amount to 50. And you can type these numbers in as well. That's totally fine. So 50. Tonal width will also be 50, and that's what it is right now. And then the radius will be 37. Okay, for the highlights, and we'll turn the preview off after a minute so you can see the differences between the non-changed version. Okay, so this one, the highlight amount is now going to be 14. And the tonal width is 46. And the radius on this one is 43. And last, your color correction is going to be set to 5 plus 5. And the mid-tone contrast is 22. And we're not going to play with the items down here for black clip and white clip. Let's turn off the preview so you can see what we've done. So we actually started out with a rather dark picture here. So this brings up the contrast quite a bit. And we're going to continue on. When you see that the preview is on, you can actually see her eyes are quite red. That's what we'll deal with next. So we're going to go to click OK. Now this is a destructive change we've just done here. We've actually changed the original pixels here. And sometimes that's okay. But generally speaking, I prefer to work non-destructively, which is why I prefer working with adjustment layers. Anyway, let's go to the red eye tool. Now this lives with the healing brush group, and we'll go down to red eye tool. Now in order to see this properly, we need to really zoom in on this. So I'm going to zoom in on her face. And she's got quite the red eye going on there. We're going to change a few of these things. The pupil size is going to remain the same at 50%, but we will change the percentage on the darken amount to 75. Okay, 74 or 76. I can't quite dial that in. Close enough. Now, the interesting thing here is we're not going to paint this. You notice that I don't have any sort of circle for my brush. I mean, obviously my mask around my arrow works, but all we've got to do is draw a box around this. And we don't have to be particularly fussy about it either. We can actually draw rather a large box. So I'll draw a box like this, cleans it right up. Nice, right? Okay. Let's move on to our next thing. That was an easy one. By the way, let's save our document right now. Command-S. So we've just saved our BeachGirl. And our next thing is we're going to do a little bit of noise reduction. You can see she's kind of a freckly kid. So we're going to go to the filter menu, and we're going to reduce the noise by going to Noise and Reduce Noise. And we'll change a few of these settings as well. So let's see, the first one will be 8. I'll just type these in, 8. And to go to the next field, I hit the tab key. I go 30, hit the tab key, 80, and 30 for the last one. And we're going to leave the remove JPEG artifact off. And you can see, actually you don't quite see it here as much. Let's see, where's that preview? You'll see it more in this window over here. So here's the original picture. Now let's preview. And you can see that a lot of her features get kind of smoothed out. And then we're not looking to get rid of every bit of thing about her, but we are smoothing out some of those details. And let's click OK. And that's how we do it. Let's hit Command 0 to see the whole thing. And that's your finished version of BeachGirl. Next file.